Okay, Warpugs. Mikey Mike asked me to check out this, and this is one of the scariest SCP videos, incredibly creepy atmosphere and subject matter with an amazing voice acting. I know for a fact the Volgun has an impressive ability to convey, like, whatever atmosphere he wants to put out. Just an impressive ability to do this. So when I hear somebody say that the Volgun's doing some voice acting, it automatically puts me in a good mood. I want to check this out. I have seen this several times. The thumbnail art is absolutely freakish. It looks like what I've seen referred to as a wight, WIGHT, but I don't know for certain. With all that said, I actually I'm going to put the mood lighting down to red for this one, guys, because I got a feeling that it's going to be required. So, join me in the pits of despair as we look at I was so close to giving a great intro. So close, and then I screw it up. Boomer moment. Anyhow, here we go. So thank you, Mikey Mike, for this recommendation. This is the Volgun, guys. We already know it's going to be good. We already know it's going to be informative. We already know it's going to be right. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3935. Containment Class, Euclid. Disruption Class, Kennick. And Risk Class, Caution. Special Containment Procedures. The town of Salvation, Indiana has been evacuated, and a fenced 2-kilometer quarantine zone has been established around the center of the town. Roads leading to the nearby town of Eminence have been removed and rerouted.
Okay.
Foundation personnel are to monitor all known travel routes into Salvation for signs of civilians. Any civilians caught attempting to enter Salvation are to be remanded to the custody of local authorities. Cover story 3935-18, Hazardous Waste Disaster, is currently being disseminated. The building containing SCP-3935, Salvation High School, is to be guarded by Foundation security personnel. Under no circumstances are any non-authorized personnel to enter SCP-3935. Individuals believed to be affected in any way by SCP-3935 are to be moved to temporary Site 815 near Eminence for evaluation. It is currently believed that the original inhabitants of Salvation are unable to reproduce. Deviation from this expectation is to be closely monitored. Exploration into SCP-3935 is currently forbidden due to the hazardous conditions within SCP-3935. Any future exploration attempts are restricted to D-Class personnel only.
Judging by the picture on the screen and what's been said so far, we're in for a ride. Let's go.
Description: SCP-3935 is an extratemporal, extraspatial, non-Euclidean space located beneath the Salvation High School in Salvation, Indiana. While SCP-3935 is the designation for the specific anomaly mentioned above, it is believed that the anomaly currently affects the entire town of Salvation, as individuals have reported anomalous events taking place outside of SCP-3935 as well.
So the SCP itself is the actual school, and that's it.
The full extent of these effects is not known. SCP-3935 is reachable only through a collapsed section of sub-basement beneath the Salvation High School near the northwest corner of the building, below the school's pool.
Okay, so it's not the entire school, it's an area in the school.
It is believed that SCP-3935 was the source of anomalous activity that took place in Salvation High School in the mid-1970s, which was investigated and contained by members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation Unusual Incidents Unit. Information pertaining to their investigation is available elsewhere in this file. The access point to SCP-3935 proper exists roughly 25 meters below the collapsed section of basement, in a small antechamber containing a stone arch. The original creator of the arch, or how it became buried so far underground in the first place, are subjects of investigation. Inscribed on the arch is a phrase in English, not believed to exist elsewhere in literature. The way below winds deeper, longer, unspeakable its patterns laid, the lost forever damned to wonder, this thing a quiet madness made.
Lovely.
Addendum 3935-1.
Okay.
Discovery. SCP-3935 was originally discovered following a series of paranormal events that took place within the Salvation High School during the week of June 18, 1976. See Addendum 3935-2. Sometime after the end of the primary anomalous activity period at the school, the collapsed section of the wall and floor leading to a narrow gap in the foundation was discovered by a member of the custodial staff. The collapsed wall, which is located in an unspecified basement room below the primary basement, deteriorated even further until the gap in the foundation was large enough that a person could fit into. During an audit of the damage by a contractor, a member of the independent team accidentally slipped and fell into the antechamber near SCP-3935. Without a way to easily extract the individual, their supervisor encouraged them to proceed into SCP-3935, a short distance, and see if there was a way out. When the individual did not return from SCP-3935, a search was conducted by members of the contractor team and local authorities. When only 2 of the 11 individuals who entered SCP-3935 returned to the antechamber, and when they began to give accounts of their experiences within, Foundation personnel embedded in local authorities took over the investigation. Over time, anomalous activity began to become more and more common outside of the high school in Salvation. After the events that took place in June 1976, the town was officially condemned and the entire populace was relocated. Addendum 3935-2. Unusual Incidents Unit Field Report.
Okay, so the UIU, if you do not know, is a branch of the FBI, which is, they know they're a joke. They know they're a joke. And they view being assigned, a lot of them view being assigned there as punishment. But, yeah, here they go.
Note: the following is a summary of the field report filed by UIU field agents Lonnie Carter, Patrick Wilson, and Ella Hughes. Federal Bureau of Investigation, Unusual Incidents Unit. The following is a comprehensive report detailing paranormal activity that took place in the town of Salvation, Indiana, between June 18th and June 23rd, 1976. Agents Carter, Wilson, and Hughes dispatched to site of reported activity. Substantial paranormal activity encountered. Additional resources requested and employed in cover-up of paranormal activity. No reported involvement by SCP Foundation or its agents. No reported involvement by Global Occult Coalition or its agents. No reported involvement by other notable entities or their agents. After asserting the scope of the reported paranormal activity, dispatched agents applied doses of Chemical 110 to the entire populace of Salvation. All inhabitants accounted for and moved to Processing Center in Indianapolis for further analysis. Quarantine established around Salvation. After extensive interviews of the population of Salvation.
What is Chemical 110 and why did they give it to them?
The following timeline of paranormal activity has been constructed from these eyewitnesses' accounts. Sunday night. 10th grade students Diane Beasley and Cassandra Thompson report hearing what they described as someone trying to speak under the ground when passing by the high school on their way home from a Sunday night church service. Ms. Thompson reports this to her mother, who ignores it.
Lovely.
Monday. During gym class, 11th grade student Oliver Baker claims that he can hear voices coming from underneath the pool. Several other students corroborate his story. When school officials come to investigate, they do not discern anything unusual. Notably, the lining at the bottom of the pool appears cracked. Several female students report seeing faceless things instead of their own reflections in the mirror of a second-story bathroom during a passing period. They do not seem bothered by this.
This is all bad.
During lunch announcements, many students describe being able to hear a third voice speaking unintelligibly below the broadcast. The PA room sits in a media center near the pool, less than 40 meters from the entrance of the sub-basement room and collapsed wall. Tuesday. Students arriving to the school notice that the Indiana state flag is more than 3 meters above the top of the flagpole, attached to nothing. The American flag is not found. When observed, students claim that they can also see 9 female figures hanging by ropes from the flagpole, which disappear immediately after being seen.
Okay.
During a freshman biology class, one student suddenly stands, is seen rolling their eyes back in their head and descending suddenly into the floor and out of sight. They reappear shortly after above a ceiling panel in the corner of the room.
See, this is why you couldn't have somebody like me in a situation like this. Because the second that starts happening, we're leaving. You just call your mom and dad, let them know you're leaving school. They ask why, tell them some messed up stuff's happening here. It's time to go. We don't die in horror movies. People with my natural accent do not die in horror movies for a reason. It's because we don't stick around to find out what's going to happen next. We're out.
Despite being unable to identify the student, several of his classmates insist it was just a joke.
Just a prank, bro.
Several students describe seeing a student they did not recognize at the school on Tuesday. When pushed to give details of the student's appearance, none are able to do so. Apparently, the only defining characteristic of this student was a purple satchel with the word syncope written on the side in white embroidery.
Huh.
A custodian reports seeing something standing at the bottom of the pool staring at him.
Nope.
Wednesday. Upon arriving at the school, maintenance staff and the custodians note that there is a full 2 inches of water across all levels of the school.
Nope.
Inexplicably, the school's principal, Dr. Irvin White, decides not to close the school. At 7:56 a.m., the entire school hears someone whisper the word hello in their right ear. Members of the school band realize that their instruments no longer produce any sound. However, when played, the students report seeing a small black human-shaped thing flickering in and out of view in the corner of the room facing the wall.
Nope. You see, I wouldn't. See, this is Wednesday. I would have been gone on Monday. 8 a.m. We're leaving. Just gonna let you know. We're leaving.
One student, Ava Litaway, witnesses a dark figure walking up and away from the school through the air at an impossible angle.
Nope.
Eventually, the figure disappears from sight and is never seen again. No other students address this. Thursday. During a gym class, senior Nate Bennett avoids a dodgeball when it phases through him. As he begins to sink into the floor, he screams for help. Nobody who noticed seemed motivated enough to help him. The entire school shifts up roughly a foot off its foundations at 11:23 a.m. The vice principal sent to inspect it describes something small with too many faces grinning at him from underneath the building. Before the school
Man, hell no. No.
slowly resettles. The boys' locker rooms disappear and are replaced by something that screamed.
No.
Witnesses are unable to provide any further details. As the students leave the school for the day, they see 9 young women hanging in the air, tilted forward at a 45-degree angle, roughly 25 meters above the school's parking lot. They can be seen silently mouthing words. All witnesses describe their appearance as ugly and unremarkable. They vanish at approximately 3 p.m. The majority of all residents describe hearing a child's voice say the word hello below them at this time. A panic ensues as town officials have no response for the women in the sky.
No!
The principal decides to close the school on Friday. The entire student body shows up for school on Friday.
Nope.
Being unable to get into the school due to the doors being locked, they assemble outside the front door and wait. No individuals in this group could describe why they were there. There is a knock on a window and the entire student body sees a small, black humanoid form standing outside of a second-story classroom. The figure begins to phase in and out of the window. The figure disappears and then begins to phase in and out of other windows. Witnesses describe its movements as jerky, erratic, and spasmodic. The figure disappears and the front door unlocks itself. The student body enters the school. The interior of the school has become non-Euclidean. As the students approach the back of the space, they realize they are moving down, not into. All students now hear whispers, and some at the edge of their group hear drums in the distance.
Lovely.
In the distance, they see the archway leading to SCP-3935. Suddenly, the entire mass of students shifts 50 meters outside of the space and are suddenly encased in rock and earth. The students spend roughly 20 seconds trapped in this area before reappearing back in the school. All students report being the only one in the building, and after wandering through the hallways for a short time, coming across a doorway below a doorway and entering the small sub-basement room. Inside, the students report seeing 3 separate visions: a woman crouched over a body of water, blood surrounding her feet, and her arms extended into the water up to her elbows.
Why? Man, hell no. Come on, man. No. The scariest thing about this is all the students went to the school on us. No.
A farmhouse in the middle of a grove of trees that is burning, while 9 humanoid figures hang in the air overhead, and a weeping woman digging in a field until her hands begin to rot and fall apart. Once the visions subside, the small black humanoid appears. Students hear the entity say the word hello again, are immediately surrounded by 9 screaming female figures, and are then suddenly in their own homes. As additional agents begin to enter the town to apply amnestics to the subjects, additional anomalous activity is reported around the town. Several individuals report seeing bodies hanging in the sky. Several individuals report turning on their taps and human hair and mucus flowing out instead of water.
We ain't making tea out of that, guys.
Several individuals report feeling as if their facial features had disappeared entirely, while several other reported seeing faceless creatures in town. A completely still black humanoid entity is seen frantically appearing and reappearing in rapid succession up and down the main thoroughfare in the town. One unidentified woman reports witnessing a weeping young woman running back into the school building. After following her into the now unlocked sub-basement, she is unable to find the young woman, but is the first to report the collapsed floor. Aftermath summary. Over the next few days, UIU amnestic regimens begin to take effect. Most townspeople are readily convinced that the things they saw were hallucinations as a result of toxic gases blown south from a factory to the north.
Now, considering this is about no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. This thing's already messed up, okay? It's already messed up because it's like, why would you go back in here? In any case, moving on.
At the end of the next week, contractors assessing the damage to the school discover the sub-basement room, as well as the entrance to SCP-3935. Foundation involvement begins shortly thereafter.
Good.
Addendum 3935-3. Initial exploration and recovery log. Note: the following log is a transcription of audio and video recordings gathered from the initial Foundation search and rescue attempt into SCP-3935. Begin log.
Alright. Mike's hot. Let's go.
Agents Ellis, Porter, and Haskell enter SCP-3935. Each is equipped with a shoulder-mounted torch which illuminates upon entering the space beyond the archway.
Alright, so first things first, there's definitely something happening back here.
Really?
The walls are getting pretty tight. Stay close.
Team proceeds forward.
Can you feel that? What? The air feels funny. Yeah, the walls.
Shoulder-mounted torch illuminates the wall next to Agent Haskell. Images are carved into the rock, similar to a child's drawings.
Come on, I think I feel a breeze. Might be an opening up here.
Team continues to push through the rock tunnel.
I can barely move. The walls are too close, Ellis.
Agent Porter's camera suddenly goes black. A moment later, it appears to be looking up at 2 sources of light, likely Ellis and Haskell's torches, as Agent Porter falls.
What the fuck just happened? Porter! Porter! Where? I
Both agents
Nope.
struggle to continue forward, the tight space continuing to impede their movement. After a short time of struggling, both men fall forward into a larger open space.
Jesus Christ! I can't... Where's Porter? Porter? He's not behind me. Can you see him in there?
Lovely.
Okay, we need to get another team down here. He might have fallen in a ravine or something. Or slipped back there, or... Ellis, look.
Both men turn around and illuminate the space they are in with their shoulder-mounted torches. In front of them is a massive structure, seemingly carved out of the stone around them.
Huh.
A thick fog covers the entire chamber. Beyond the fog, dim lights are visible in openings in the structure. It is impossible to determine how high or low the structure extends. The structure is only reachable via a narrow stone bridge that extends across a large chasm between the agents and the far wall.
Is this the high school? Why does it look like that? Yeah, the geometry isn't right, but... Yeah, look there. That's the main entrance. There's another door there, yeah. This is the school. There's another one below it, and one below that. How far down does this go? Are there any other...
Both men pause. Appearing over the bridge in front of them are 9 female humanoid figures, their faces obscured by long white hair. They do not move.
Ellis, hang on.
The 9 entities hang in the air for a short time, before suddenly appearing 10 meters backwards, and then another 10, and then right in front of the door to the subterranean school structure. The faces of all 9 suddenly become visible, and although they are not visible to the recording due to the distance, both agents noticeably recoil. Afterwards, all the entities disappear.
Jesus Christ, holy shit! What was that?
This is proof that you should have gone into a different line of work there, Haskell. I'm just saying, this is 100% proof that the line of work that you're in is not the line of work that you wanted to be in, okay? You should have just become a dog groomer, you know? Most things you have to deal with is an angry dog, you know? You fluffy little creatures, you know, just pet them and brush them and trim their nails and spray that little spray on them, make them feel better. But no, you just had to join the Foundation and go into this kind of crap right here. This is what happens. Yep.
All right. God, we're not ready for this.
Nope.
There is a sudden sound of many voices speaking in hushed tones in the distance. Both agents react at the sound.
The search team. Survivors. Come on, let's go!
Both agents cross the chasm bridge
Dude, no. Turn around, leave. They're alive. You've heard them. It's time to leave. Go back, get somebody more experienced in this stuff to come down here, tell them what you saw, tell them what happened, and run like hell. It's a very simple concept.
leading towards the non-Euclidean replica of Salvation High School. Upon entering, they find the main concourse of the school. No other entities are visible within.
Porter, anyone? Is anyone here? I feel like... Jesus, you feel this too? Like you're looking at the whole room all at once? Yeah, it's the fucking... The walls don't make any sense. Come on. I hear voices down this way. Let's go.
Both men move quickly down the closest hallway. As they do, doors on either side of the wall are visible. Although neither agent seems to notice, faces are occasionally visible through glass panes in the doorways.
No.
They are impossible to make out.
No.
Here. This is the door to the auditorium. I'll bet they're in.
Agent Ellis opens the door. As he does, his video recorder disconnects. Agent Haskell screams and scrambles backwards. The voices increase dramatically in volume, and from Agent Haskell's perspective, on the ground near the door, 9 female figures appear around Agent Ellis. Their movements are erratic, and their bodies are contorted into impossible positions. They close on Agent Ellis, and the man and the figures disappear.
Fuck, Ellis! God, fuck!
Agent Haskell stands and begins to run away from the door.
Yep.
As he reaches the end of the hall, he looks back over his shoulder and sees 9 figures approaching.
Lovely.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Hello, is anyone there? Help me. God, please help me. Hello? Fuck me, please. God, help.
Nope.
Agent Haskell turns again to see the 9 figures in the hallway behind him, though they are no longer moving forward. Instead, they hang in the air, unmoving. As Agent Haskell's pace slows, he watches them for a moment, and then stops. His breathing becomes quick.
What? What do you want?
They want to tell you about your car's extended warranty. Okay? That's what they're there for.
Agent Haskell turns slowly to look behind him, and upon turning is face to face with a small black humanoid creature sitting upside down on the ceiling of the hallway.
Hell no.
The creature has no discernible features, but its presence creates significant visual distortion in Agent Haskell's camera.
Hello?
There is a loud, low sound like a bell tolling.
Nope.
The sound continues for 20 seconds. The video feed for Agent Haskell goes dead. The audio feed begins to experience severe distortion, as if the signal was being drawn out over a longer period of time. There is a snapping noise, and then the feed goes silent. All 3 signals are quiet for some time. Eventually, all 3 radios begin responding again.
Just wants to be. Wouldn't you like to just be? Yeah, we all would die. We all would die. No more of the 9. We all would. They're back.
Silence for 81 minutes.
What?
It's like every other wall. This hall is like every other hall. Down and down and down and down. No more, please. No more down. Can't go down anymore. Can't go down.
Silence for 18 minutes.
Ellis? God, can anyone hear me?
Oh, this is so good. It is. I like these because they give you that mix of threat and absolute creepiness. I already consider this a 10 out of 10. Let's go.
Does anyone know who I am? I can't see the light anymore. I can't see. Oh God, it's only dark. It's only dark down here. I just want to see the light again.
Silence for 9 minutes.
Death is down below. This madness. We'll get up there. There are 9, but the death is down below. God, please just make it.
Silence for 9 minutes. Silence for 9 minutes.
I see you down there. You want me to come in? You want me to? You want us all to come down and be with you? Down.
Silence for 9 minutes.
Enough.
Fall forever. Fall forever. Fall forever. Fall forever. Fall forever.
Silence for 9 minutes.
No.
Goes on forever. It goes down forever. We're in here forever. Just more of the 9. More of the salvation. Down forever and ever. None of them got out. None of them got out. None of them got out. 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 Hello.
No.
No more transmissions from any of the 3 microphones received after this point. Possible exploration attempts into SCP-3935 using Class D subjects are forthcoming.
No! This is a negative Ghost Rider. Oh my god. Ugh, no. Things that make you go... Ugh, no. Nope.
Addendum 3935 4. Anomalous activity in Salvation.
All right.
The following are incidents of anomalous activity in Salvation, Indiana, reported by staff during the Foundation's occupancy of the town. Reports of a figure dressed as a UIU agent who tries to direct individuals towards the high school. This figure disappears if observed for too long. Agent Willis reported seeing a small black figure sitting underneath his vehicle upon approaching. After looking beneath the vehicle, the figure was not there. Afterwards, Agent Willis reports always seeing the black figure in his peripheral vision. Many reports of sounds coming from a grove of trees near the high school. Examination of the grove returned only a dilapidated one-bedroom house and 9 in the backyard. The appearance of 9 hanging female figures drives off the exploration team. Further examination of the grove was unable to locate the house. After dark, many agents report seeing the 9 female humanoid entities jerkily moving towards them in the dark, only to slide into the earth or fade away before reaching them. Several reports of similar figures up in trees. Reports of several bodies, no more than 9 at a time, that float up from the bottom of a small pond outside of town and rest at the surface of the water before sinking and disappearing, likely connected in some way to the 9 that appeared behind the house in the grove.
Hell no!
Addendum 3935 5. Interview with person of interest. Note: the following interview was conducted by Agent Ryan Ames in 2002. The subject, Mrs. Valerie Fletcher, was a teacher at Salvation High School during the period of anomalous activity in 1976.
Can you tell me about your time at Salvation?
Oh, well, you know, I already told you about the memory loss. I just can't seem to string anything together anymore. I was a teacher, though. See, I taught English, I believe. And yes, I was at Salvation for some time.
What can you tell me about the town? Anything you remember that stands out?
Well, it was quiet, you know. One road in, one road out. We didn't get many outsiders, so we were a pretty tight-knit community. I don't even think we had police. You know, because who would need them? We didn't have crime, not really.
Okay.
There were always some people who would tell stories, you know. They...
Yes?
What? Hello? Hello?
You were just talking about people telling stories, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh, the young people would go out into the woods and get themselves all riled up about whatever spook or specter they thought they were seeing out there.
Okay.
There were some things that were strange. Well, I don't know if they were actually strange or if it's just my memory giving me trouble again. Like, sometimes you'd be driving down the street and you'd see someone standing on the side of the road waving just like this, and you'd look back and nobody would be there. I think it was just the kids playing pranks on people.
You damn kids!
What about at the high school? Anything strange ever happened there?
High school?
Where you were a teacher? Salvation High School?
Yes, I was a teacher. I taught English, I think.
Huh.
Do you remember anything strange happening at the school?
Amnestics has come a long way. They blasted her memory straight into the Stone Age. Jeez.
No, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. We did have a child disappearance once, I think. The last she was seen by the pool, and then no one ever saw them again. I just think... Well, I think they ended up saying they just ran away. Some of them were problem children, you know.
Lovely.
And there's just nothing you can do. Maybe it was better for them. I don't know. There were a lot of people in Salvation who had some strong opinions. And some of them didn't sit very well with the young people.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know. The church was very important in town. We had a few, and almost everyone went. But we had, if I remember this right, there was one girl who got pregnant, I think. I'm sorry, what were we talking about? I can't seem to... Hello?
A girl who got pregnant.
Yes.
Huh.
Out of wedlock. It was quite the scandal. I don't remember what happened to her, but I know a lot of people were upset about it. You know, I don't remember that girl's name. No. But I do remember her coming back to me one time and asking about something strange she had heard.
Huh.
She was pregnant. Out of wedlock. It was quite a scandal.
Yeah, like in small towns, something like that was huge. Huge. Like, ugh.
And didn't want the boys to see. But she said she was sitting on the bleachers and kept hearing a knocking, like someone hitting something. She didn't want the boys, didn't want them to...
Mrs. Fletcher.
I'm sorry. I'm just so all over anymore. She said she would see them sometimes too, but I don't know anything about that. She also... Well, I don't know if I dreamed this or not, but I remember her saying hello to me. Too many times, all at once, too. Not like a greeting. It was the only word she knew for a moment, like it was all she... Hello?
Is there anything else about Salvation you remember?
It all blurs together. After all this time, I seem to remember there was one time when, somebody found a girl. Maybe the same. Well, I don't know. But they were strung up in the woods, like a...
This is so good. This is so absolutely well done in so many ways. You weren't kidding, Mikey Mike. This is legitimately one of the best videos that I have seen. I absolutely love this.
Hanging. I think they called it a suicide. One of the girls who did cheer, you know. But it was someone who, well, I don't know why they do anything like that.
Huh.
They had a note. They had written with, I'm sorry. Anyway, a note in their hand. Actually asked me to look at it. See if it was the same handwriting and everything.
What did it say?
Oh, well, if I remember right, it was on one side. They just had just like a drawing, like a building, but strange somehow. I don't remember why. On the other, it was just a word, written over and over again. I don't remember what it was. I think it was wet or something.
Huh.
You couldn't make it out. Very queer now that I think of it. What a strange thing to write just before you die. Don't you think?
What did they write?
Do you remember anything from the week you were evacuated?
No. No, well, I mean, the vapors were very strong that week from the factory. They said we might experience hallucinations, and I definitely did. I saw some things. Well, there was one day I imagined a child floating backwards into a wall, and then, well, they suffocated. Heard him screaming and pounding against the wall. We all did.
Huh.
It was a strange hallucination. He stopped. I'm sorry. What am I doing here again?
We're just talking, Mrs. Fletcher.
They've really, 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 really come a long way that way on Nestix, because they screwed her up.
I'm here with the insurance company. You were talking about the hallucination, remember? About the boy in the wall.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I just don't remember quite so well anymore. The hallucination, though, I saw that boy go in. And then we didn't hear anything else. Now that I think about it, that's very peculiar. The hallucination was very clear. He cried for a long time and seemed so afraid. But, well, I don't seem to remember it bothering me. I think it must have been a prank.
One last question, Mrs. Fletcher.
It seems like every single, their automatic response to this kind of stuff has been completely switched off. Like, the automatic response you would have to these things is just absent from them when these things occur around them. The children especially. But it seems like she was also affected by this.
After the earthquake, they found a room underneath the basement near the pool. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Nobody ever went into the room but the janitors. I think just storage. Though, I think that girl asked about that room once. Said she heard some things coming from it. She was very interested in it, I think, before she, either way, I don't know.
Whoever did the voice acting in this, I know he did at least one of the roles. Whoever did the voice acting in this, top notch. I'm fully in this.
I might not be remembering that right. I do. Well, some of the hallucinations, they told us not to think about them anymore. So I try not to. But I know some other people who have, and they aren't doing very well anymore.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Fletcher. Actually, before I go, do you think you know anything about this?
Well, yes, I do. Those are that's the cheerleaders. There were, let me think. There were 10 of them, though. I think, unless something happened to one of them, there were definitely 10.
This concludes today's lecture. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you were all dismissed. Goodbye.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That was impressively creepy. Now, considering the way the town was, considering the way the town seemed to be from the way the woman was describing it, and from the small town atmosphere, and the time period, I'm guessing that 10th girl was the 10th cheerleader. And the one that isn't there. The one that had the kid. The one that was saying hello. That's gotta be her, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm right about this, but, I mean, this is just me looking at it first. Oh God, I want to know more about this. This is one of the greatest things about SCP in general, is the fact that the more you know, the more you want to know, the more you want to learn, the more you want to find out. Is this related to other SCPs? Is the number 10 related to other SCPs? And if so, why? And this is the part where my brain starts to just start doing backflips, because I'm sitting there trying to remember any other SCP that I know of that had this numerology with it. Anything. And I'm drawing blanks. Oh, wow. This was impressive. I enjoyed this one far more than I probably should have. The voice acting in this one was absolutely top notch. I have nothing but compliments about this. Guys, I just, oh wow, oh my God. So for a full week, so nothing's going on, and then a week later, it just turns into an utter horror show. Like almost instantaneously, it just turns into a horror show overnight. UIU gets called in. They quarantine the town. They give the background. They expose them all to some kind of chemical. I think this is before the discovery of 3000. And I think this is before they really started refining their amnestics. But good God, they screwed that woman up bad. And then on top of that, you have everything else that's going on in the town. Oh my God, this was a good SCP. The voice acting in this made it 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. Just like with, you do not recognize the bodies in the water. The voice acting made this so much better. And of course, the mood lighting helped out 10 times as well. Guys, there's a reason I bought this thing. Like, it's the first thing like this I've ever bought before. And I was sitting there thinking, you know, maybe it would help me set a mood for something. And you know what? I'm so glad I picked it up. I'm so glad I picked it up. Guys, and I have the Patreons to thank for that, by the way. Thank you, Patreons. Because that's what I use. That's what I use that money on. And, yeah. Mic, camera, lights. Guys, all the Volgun's links can be in the description down below. This was, oh man. Sooner or later, I have got to come up with a list of my favorite. And DJ Cactus. DJ Cactus has written so many wonderful SCPs. I have recognized that name so many times, like when I was sitting there at the end saying, who wrote this? DJ Cactus is up there. Guys, once again, another amazing, I think I'll do that after I finish my first, the 2 videos I'm working on right now. I think I will actually do that. Until then, guys, oh man, keep on watching this stuff with me. Keep on enjoying it with me. Links are in the description down below. Definitely check out the Volgun's channel, especially his hyperlink. I've been wanting to do something like that for a bit now. What is that? Nah. And guys, like I said, thank you for checking this stuff out with me. Makes it a lot of fun. In any case, I'm going to head out. Check out my links in the description down below. Leave a like and a comment if you will. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you, yeah, if you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, I have a Patreon down below. What in the world? My work computer's doing updates. I have a Patreon link down below. And I'm shutting up because I'm losing my mind right now. Because the mood lighting and the creepy story I just heard, something that happens like 20 times a day, is freaking me out right now. I'm just saying. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to turn the lights back up in here. just know